My girlfriend demanded I apologize to her male best friend, so I went to his house and apologized in front of his wife for keeping quiet about their affair last summer. I went to his house and in front of his wife I stated, "I am sincerely sorry. I apologize for remaining silent about the affair you engaged in last summer. I should have never concealed that truth for you. My girlfriend, Lisa, has a best friend named Ethan. Their connection is mythical, a two-person society of mutual admiration where they endlessly extol each other's virtues. Ethan is married to a gentle, reserved woman named Nora, who observes their dynamic with the weary patience of a scholar overseeing two boisterous children exchanging witty barbs and calling it friendship. I have consistently felt like a third wheel in my own romance. Ethan's opinion is solicited for every decision, from the brand of tea we purchase to our vacation destinations. He possesses a key to our apartment, an emergency privilege Lisa insisted upon, which he uses to enter unannounced. He is arrogant, condescending, and possesses a talent for cloaking insults in the guise of helpful advice. Lisa, for her part, defends his every transgression with a zealous loyalty that is both baffling and maddening. Last summer, I became the unwilling keeper of a secret that would alter the entire dynamic of our small group. Lisa insisted I accompany Ethan for a guys' night, an excruciating exercise I was expected to enjoy. After several expensive drinks that I covered, Ethan, emboldened by liquor and ego, admitted he was cheating on his wife. He laughed about it, reveling in the excitement of his deceit. He perceived me as a benign, negligible figure, Lisa's dependable but inconsequential boyfriend. The following morning, a frantic and hungover Ethan called, imploring me to forget his confession. He pleaded with me to keep it from everyone, particularly Lisa and Nora. I consented. It wasn't my place to dismantle his life. But I am a man who operates on the principle of mutually assured destruction. I didn't see the secret as a weight. I viewed it as a trump card, saved for a day I hoped would never come. That day arrived last Tuesday. I had committed a cardinal sin. I had bruised Ethan's ego. My transgression. I politely requested he text before using his key to our apartment, as he had walked in on me just out of the shower the day prior. The response was a meltdown of epic proportions. Lisa branded me a petty, insecure man attempting to sabotage her most important friendship. Ethan adopted the persona of the martyred artist, professing that he felt unwelcome and judged in our home. This culminated in a dramatic, tear-soaked intervention last night. Lisa and Ethan, a unified force of melodramatic injury, sat me down for an interrogation. "You owe him an apology, David," Lisa declared, her arms crossed. "A sincere, heartfelt apology. You made him feel like an intruder in his best friend's life." I stared at them. The stunningly theatrical absurdity of it all was almost beautiful. "Fine," I stated, my voice thick with feigned resignation. But a simple, "I'm sorry," was insufficient. Lisa required a grand gesture of penance. "Not here," she commanded. "You need to go to his house. You must apologize in his home, in front of his wife, so Nora understands that you honor the connection we all have." She wanted a public shaming. She wanted me debased before another woman, solidifying my role as the lesser party in their clique. A slow, deliberate smile spread across my face. It was the most beautifully ironic trap I'd ever been presented with. She had provided me the key, the stage, and the audience. "Okay," I said, my voice saturated with mock surrender. "I'll go to his house and apologize. It's the proper thing to do." Lisa's face brightened with triumphant glee. Ethan smirked, soaking in his victory. They believed they were about to witness my surrender. They had no idea they were about to be the main characters in a public execution. Update 1. The apology was scheduled for Saturday evening. Lisa spent the preceding 2 days instructing me on what to say, a clinic in pompous nonsense. I was to confess my jealousy, praise Ethan's unwavering dedication to our relationship, and promise to be more accepting and trusting in the future. I nodded along, learning my lines like an actor rehearsing for a major role. On Saturday, I made one crucial phone call before we departed. I called Nora, Ethan's wife. "Hi, Nora, it's David," I said, my voice warm with calculated charm. "Just confirming we're still on for 7 tonight. I genuinely want to resolve things with Ethan and make sure we are all on the same page." It is so important to me that we're one large, happy family." Nora, a truly kind person, sounded pleased. "Of course, David, we'll see you then." My audience was confirmed. We arrived at their home at 7 o'clock sharp. Lisa was practically vibrating with self-satisfied excitement. She was about to watch me grovel. Ethan opened the door, his expression radiating generous forgiveness. He was prepared to graciously receive my submission. Nora welcomed us inside, offering beverages, completely unaware of the spectacle about to begin. We assembled in their living room. The air was thick with palpable expectation. Lisa gave me a pointed nod, cueing the start of the show. I stood and faced Ethan. I took a deep, theatrical breath. "Ethan," I started, my voice heavy with practiced sincerity, "we're here because I owe you an apology. I've been unjust and have not been a genuine friend to you." Lisa beamed. Ethan's chest puffed out, ready to claim his prize. "You've been a fixture in our lives," I went on, turning to bring Nora into my gaze, "and I haven't always appreciated the bond you and Lisa share. For that, I am sincerely sorry." I moved to the center of the room, near the fireplace. Then I did it. I dropped to one knee. Lisa let out a small gasp, elated by what she assumed was my ultimate act of surrender. But I did not look at Ethan. I locked my eyes on Nora, her kind, unsuspecting face. "Nora," I said, my voice now clear and firm, "my true apology is for you, because the worst thing I have done, my greatest error, was keeping a secret from you." Nora's smile faltered, confusion clouding her features. Ethan's face went rigid. Lisa looked as if she had been slapped. "I'm so sorry, Nora," I declared, my voice now raw with purpose. "I'm sorry I never told you about the affair Ethan had last summer with a woman from his PR agency. I'm sorry I didn't tell you about the hotel rooms he paid for with cash or the burner email account he bragged about. He told me everything one intoxicated night and made me vow to keep it a secret. And I did. I should have never hidden that from you. That was my failure as a friend, and I am begging for your forgiveness." The silence that ensued was total, a profound stillness, the silent aftermath of a detonation in a sealed chamber. Nora stared at me, her face a mask of shock. Then, slowly, she turned to her husband. Ethan was ashen, his eyes wide with a primal terror. Lisa was the first to break. "What are you doing?" she shrieked, jumping to her feet. "He's lying. He's inventing this to spite me." I didn't even acknowledge her. I remained on one knee, my gaze fixed on Nora. I pulled out my phone, opened a single screenshot, and held it out for Nora to see. It was from the morning after Ethan's confession. After he begged me to stay silent, I had sent him a text to create a record. The message read, "I won't tell anyone about your affair, but you owe me." His reply was brief and damning, "Thanks, man. It's done. Never mention it again." Nora looked at the screenshot. She saw her husband's name on the screen, and in that instant, she understood. She knew it was the truth. I stood up. I surveyed the chaos I had created. Lisa was screaming at me. Ethan was stammering, trying to fabricate a denial that would never work. And Nora sat silently, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek. "My apology is complete," I said quietly. Then I turned, walked out, and closed the door on the explosion. Update 2. The immediate aftermath was a chaotic war waged via digital messages. I drove home, blocked Lisa's and Ethan's numbers, and observed the pandemonium from a distance. The first assault came from Lisa's friends, undoubtedly mobilized by her hysterical calls from Ethan's driveway. Their messages were a blend of fury and confusion. "What you did was cruel, David. Why would you invent such a story?" I replied to each with the same irrefutable weapon, the screenshot of my text exchange with Ethan. No commentary, just the image. The angry messages ceased, replaced by a telling silence. The truth has a way of ending arguments. The second assault came from Lisa through a barrage of desperate emails. Her tone cycled through the stages of grieving her relationship. First, denial. "You're a liar and I will never forgive you for this disgusting lie." Then, anger. "I hope you're proud of yourself. You've ruined everything." Then, bargaining. "If you admit you made it up, we can still salvage this." Then, despair. I can't believe this is happening. Finally, a twisted form of acceptance. Fine, maybe Ethan made a mistake, but you didn't have to destroy his life to get even with me. I did not reply to any of them. The real story, the one that counted, arrived unexpectedly. 2 days later, Nora emailed me. Her message was concise but potent. David, I don't know whether to thank you or resent you, but you told me the truth, which is more than my husband has done in a year. I found the hidden bank statements. It was all true. He's not living here anymore. I've hired a lawyer. I just wanted you to know. And I'm sorry for what Lisa and Ethan put you through. You deserve better. That email was my vindication. I hadn't just gotten revenge. I had performed a necessary, if brutal, act of truth. With my moral high ground established, I addressed the practical fallout. Lisa was still in my apartment. I had my lawyer draft a formal eviction notice, giving her the legally required 30 days to vacate. The lease was solely in my name, and I wanted the process to be airtight. She transformed the apartment into a war zone, blasting music at all hours and leaving spiteful notes on the counter. It was childish and pathetic. I ignored it, staying at a friend's place to let her stew in her own venom. Her final act was an attempt to steal from me. The day before her move-out deadline, I stopped by with a friend to check on her packing. I caught her trying to load my high-end television and speakers into her car. I didn't raise my voice. I just stood there, arms folded, and said, "That's not yours, Lisa." "I paid for half," she screamed. "No, you didn't," I replied calmly. "I have the bank statement showing I paid in full. Put it back, or I'll call the police and show them the receipt, adding theft to your list of recent accomplishments." Defeated, she returned the TV. The next day, she was gone. I walked into my apartment, and for the first time in years, it was quiet. It was peaceful. It was mine. Final update. It has been 6 months since I knelt and delivered my apology. The dust has settled, and my life is better than I could have imagined. The consequences for Lisa and Ethan, however, have been total and irreversible. Ethan's life is in ruins. Nora, armed with proof of his infidelity and financial deception, was ruthless in the divorce. She got the house, a significant portion of his assets, and custody of their cat. Ethan now resides in a cramped, rented apartment, paying alimony and drowning in self-pity. His reputation in their social circle is destroyed. He is no longer the charismatic socialite. He's the social pariah, exposed for all to see. As for Lisa, her life has unraveled slowly and agonizingly. After being evicted from my apartment, she sought support from Ethan. But he, consumed by his own collapsing world, had no capacity for her drama. Their epic friendship, built on mutual flattery and a shared disdain for me, could not withstand the harsh light of reality. They reportedly had a massive falling out, each blaming the other for their demise. With no fiancé, no best friend, and no home, Lisa had to move back in with her parents. Her efforts to cast me as the villain failed. The screenshot of Ethan's text was irrefutable evidence I had not lied. She was exposed as someone who not only enabled her friend's betrayal but demanded I apologize for questioning his disrespect. She lost all credibility. Last I heard, she's still with her parents, working a low-level PR job. Her once glamorous life is a fading memory. She tried to punish me for a minor slight and lost everything in the process. As for me, I am thriving. The first thing I did after taking back my apartment was change the locks, a symbolic act of reclaiming my space and establishing boundaries that will never again be violated. I've immersed myself in my work, and the serenity in my personal life has boosted my creativity and productivity. I also reconnected with Nora. A few months after the incident, she reached out to thank me again. We met for coffee, just as friends. We shared a unique connection. We had both been betrayed by the same two individuals. We talked for hours, openly and honestly. That coffee led to dinner a week later, and dinner has evolved into something more. It's nascent, careful, but authentic. It's built on shared pain and a devotion to truth. We both know the sting of deceit and are determined never to inflict it upon each other. Lisa demanded I kneel and beg. She wanted a performance of my submission. She got her spectacle, but the star was her own spectacular collapse. She thought she was directing the production, but I had written the final scene. She wanted me to apologize for wounding her best friend's ego. Instead, I apologized for keeping his secrets. And in doing so, I liberated two people, Nora and myself.